All right, guys. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to connect LessBill to your AWS cloud account so as to sync and get a feel of how LessBill works. All right, so first, in your browser, you just type LessBill in your browser. LessBill browser. .org. So if you're a returning user, you click on login. But if you're a new user, you click on get started. But you can check everything on LessBill if you want to. You can read more about LessBill. You can send an email for feedback and follow-ups. So let's get started with LessBill. So I'll just give it a default name. I'll call this Jacob. Israel. So let me pick up the email address. So the company name, you can put the name of your company or any name. So for this hands-on, I will just put in any name. Select your country. So I'll select my country. What role? DevOps, SRE. So you select the role you have in your organizations. But if you can't find your list of roles here, you can click on order. Your password, creating password. So you can use to sign in. So you can read the terms and conditions and summary of LessBill. And check what I have read. Let's create an account. Voila, that's simple. So LessBill has sent you a verification email. So let's go and verify. The email is here. To verify the email. Awesome. So let's go to sign in. Now let's put in the email and the password we created. So once you sign in, if you're an AWS user, you select AWS here on your cloud provider. For now, LessBill has not updated for other cloud provider for now, but one of their documents I saw online, they said they are working on Azure, so we'll be expecting Azure very soon. So let's click on AWS. Awesome. So currently now, once you sign into LessBill, your dashboard is empty because you've not linked any accounts. You can't see recommendation. You can't see idle resource. You can't see reports. You can't see anything. Okay. So for now, it's free. LessBill wants to incorporate billing very soon, but for now, it's free. So I would like you guys to get on board and make use of it now that it's still free. By the time will come, they will set up premium billing. If you want to read more on the documentations on how to set up LessBill, you can go through this, gives you a step-by-step on how to go. Then you have any issue, you can email LessBill on the support. So let's link LessBill to my AWS cloud account for my organization. But it's just for the test. So I got a free tier account to demo this for you guys. So click on connect, give it any name you want. Call it Jacob. Click on continue. So right now I'm going to do something interesting. It said deploy read-only IAM. So LessBill just has read permission in your cloud infrastructure, okay? So LessBill cannot delete or update anything in your cloud environment, all right? It only has just read permission. So let's click on launch CloudFormation in AWS console. So click on this arrow. This will open your cloud AWS account. So once you already signed in previously, it just opens your account and then take you straight to CloudFormation resource. But if, for example, you're not logged in, you have to log in and then to open your CloudFormation resource. So Once it opens your CloudFormation resource in AWS, everything auto completes. Like LessBill has prefilled all this for you. You just scroll down, leave everything as default, and checkbox I acknowledge, and create your stack. So we'll wait for some few seconds. So once you create your stack, once your stack is created, we'll click on outputs, and then we'll copy the ARN that will be created. Okay, so let me refresh. Okay, it's a create in progress. So wait for a few seconds, and then yeah, say create complete. So click on outputs. So copy this ARN. And mind you, you have to copy it well, okay? This is what LessBill used to authenticate. So once you copy the outputs, you come down, click on I have deployed it, meaning you've deployed the CloudFormation stack. So you click on I've deployed it, then you paste the ARN you copied, and click on connect accounts. Now, LessBill is now connected to your AWS account. So now let's sync LessBill. So LessBill can scan through your infrastructure and tell you resources that are running and gives you. So if you have resources that are running that are idle, let's say, so idle resources means resources that are running but are not being utilized, in the sense that maybe you deploy a resource and you've never used it at all. LessBill will tell you this resource is idle. But the moment you start using that resource, LessBill will tell you that the resource is no longer idle anymore. Okay. So if you provision some resources that are not well set up well, LessBill give you recommendations, okay, on how to deploy. And you have AI assist on LessBill. You can, get feedback from LessBill AI. You can chat with the AI agent, and then can give you better recommendation how to deploy or how to reconfigure resources. Maybe you provision an oversized EC2 instance. Okay, it can tell you, oh, use spot instance, okay, for example. But if you don't know anything about cloud and you're a novice and you're managing cost in your cloud environment, this AI agent, it's very helpful. Okay, it gives you everything you need and tells you how to go about what you need to do, how to optimize your cloud infrastructure. So let's go to dashboard. So now let me sync. So syncing now, once LessBill syncs with my AWS, it's connected. So syncing means it's scanning through my AWS account. I will now see feedback, like all the costs, resources that are running, everything will show. Okay. So it takes 2 to 5 minutes. So for the sake of this video, I will just have to pause. Or let me just let it run so that we can just see how many minutes it takes. Okay. Happens live on the go. Then once we sync, then I will show you how all these resources, all these services operate. Okay. Awesome. So you see, it's active. Let's do a scan through. Wow, you have 5 services type running. 23 resource tracked and 5 service type. You have 17 active regions. Okay. So what are the resources that are running? This Athena log group. So observe Athena log work group is a default service running on AWS. You did not create this one. So when you see this Athena work, just ignore it. It's not what you created, it's default. You're not being charged for it. Okay. But see resource I created S3 bucket. So I have 2 S3 bucket running in my infrastructure. I have 2 EBS volumes. I have 1 EC2 instance. I have 1 amplifier running. So you can still see it here. S3 bucket 2, EBS volume 2, EC2 instance 1, amplifier 1. You can also see resource running by region. So if you want to see the region, so for example, now you spun up or you created a resource in a region and you forgot about it. LessBill tells you, oh, in every region, these are resources running. So when you see one, all these ones are just Athena work group defaults. Okay. So when you see the one that has more than one, you investigate. So this one has more than one. This is two. US is 2 has 3 resource running. So I'll check it. I have amplifier and S3 bucket. Okay. And Athena work group. Athena work group is default. So you can ignore that. Then US East 1, I have 5 resources running. So I'm curious to see what's happening there. So I have EBS volume running. Interesting. Athena work group is default. So yeah, I have an East instance running and I have S3 bucket. So for the sake of this project, I created S3 bucket and S2 instance on my AWS to demo this, okay? If you click on service here, it gives you a more detailed service, right? You can see all the service running. But if I don't go through this long list, I can select by region. So let me go to US East 1 and see. So I have these are the resources running on ES East 1. It said 5 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this Athena work group is default, so we can ignore it, okay? All right. But see, the EBS volume we created, this one is in used, right? Meaning that this EBS volume is attached to an EC2 instance that I created. Then we have EBS volume empty available. This EBS volume is not attached. That's why you can see available. We have a server running, okay, and we have a bucket active, right? Awesome. And if you click on each of them, you can see more detail when it was created and who created it. Okay. Awesome. So let me then click on costs. Let's see costs. So because it's a free tier account, I have 6 months free, so no costs. Click on my dashboard. This do not circle is showing nothing because there's no cost. So let me check. Oh, I have a recommendation here. Can you see? So that is telling me that something is not right to my infrastructure. It's an unattached EBS volume empty. So to see more, I can click here, or I can click here, or I can click here. Any of them will take me to recommendations page. Okay, so let me click here. So can you see one open issue? What's the issue? Unattached EBS volume. What's more the volume? I call that volume empty volume. Okay. So to click to see more detail, I click. So it's giving me data about the volume said. If say 100 gigabyte GPS EPS volume is not attached to any instance, it's costing me approximately $8 per month with no active use. So if this EPS volume is not either deleted, I'll be paying extra $8. So just imagine, LessBill is forecasting an extra $8 charge I'll be paying for this volume that is created but is not being used. So it's even telling me what to do. Say snapshot it and delete it if the data is no longer needed. So this is recommendation. So LessBill recommends. That's one beautiful thing about LessBill. It recommends. So if you are not sure what to do about LessBill, advises you, or it's more like your consultant. Okay, the advice on what to do. So let's click on idle resource and see if we have resources that are idle. Wow, we have 3 idle resources. Can you see? What are those? We have the EBS volume that is not attached. It's idle, obviously. You have an EC2 instance that is idle. Yes. We have an S3 bucket that is idle. Yes. It's normal. So now let me explain this. So my EBS volume that I created but it's not attached, say not mounted on any instance. Can you see? So it's created but it's not being used. So I'm paying for resource that I'm not using. And this now let's go to the EC2 instance. So I spawn up an EC2 instance. Okay, but it's idle in the sense that I did not make any configuration on the server. The server does not have any container, any package installed, does not have Nginx reverse proxy installed. It's not receiving traffic from end users. Like it's just empty. Okay, so it's redundant, even though I'm going to be charged for this server that is created. But you see, imagine now I created a server, for example, and then I'm not using it. So sometimes you can create resources and you might have forgotten. So LessBill ID resource tells you resource that you created that are not being used. So you see view details. It tells me more about the resource. It said this resource ID, what region was it created? It shows it to me. Or was it detected today? Who deployed the resource? So it shows you the IAM user that created that resource. So LessBill helps you to track your team, for accountability purpose. So it keeps your team accountable of whoever deployed the resource. So you can easily track those that deploy that resource, okay? Then S3 buckets. I created this bucket, see 0 objects. The bucket is empty. All right, you can see more details. So mind you, I have two buckets running currently. Okay, you can see two buckets. One of the buckets is not empty, one is empty. So the empty one is what LessBill identify as idle resource because it has nothing in it. And it shows you just one. So let me show you the buckets that are running that I have active. I have two buckets. I have GHC first connect buckets. Okay, and I have LessBill. All right. So this bucket here, GHC, has content in it, has files in it, right? Unlike LessBill XYZ that is empty. That's why my idle resource, I'm only seeing LessBill XYZ bucket as the empty one because it has no resource, right? So now let me go and delete these idle resources that are not running. Let me terminate them so that we can see how LessBill works. So go to LessBill. So let's start with S3. So now I want to delete that bucket. So the bucket is idle, no contents, and we can check. We can also verify. So look at it. So see this bucket empty. Can you see it? You don't have any objects. That's why LessBill is flagging. LessBill flag this bucket as idle because it has no object in it, right? Unlike this one that I created, I put a file in it, so it's being used. You can see there's a file in it. So I'm going to delete the idle bucket, right? Because LessBill suggested that this bucket is idle, so I'm going to delete it, right? I'll delete the bucket. So I deleted the bucket, awesome. So I only have one bucket now. So what's the next thing LessBill said? So LessBill said, I've deleted this bucket, so let me delete the next thing. Next thing is what? My server running, right? Awesome. Let me delete this server. And then mind you, I have two EBS volumes running, right? I have two EBS volumes. So let me check those volumes out. One of them is attached, one is not attached. So see this empty one, this empty EBS volume is idle, it's not attached to any instance. Okay, why this other one is attached to an instance? So this one is not idle. So for the one that is idle, it's called empty volume. That's why LessBill flagged it as idle because it's not attached to any instance. Can you see? It said not mounted to any instance. So let's delete that. Let's delete empty volume. Okay. Let's go to EC2. Go to the volume. So see the volume is empty, is not attached. So I'll checkbox it and I'll delete it. So I can either attach it. So let me delete it because it's just for test purposes. So I intentionally let it stay idle. Okay, awesome. So what's the next thing LessBill suggests I take down? This server. I say they have a server running called empty test server. So let me go to my server to see if I have a server called empty test server. Oh, awesome. So you see, I have a server called empty test server, right? So this was what I was using to demo first to test before I made this video. So let me take down this server too. So I'm deleting the server. Awesome. So now, by the time I resync on LessBill now, you realize that I will not have, I'll only have one S3 bucket and one amplify app. my EC2 instance and my EBS volumes will be deleted. So that was resynced. So this might take 2 to 5 minutes. So I'll just let it run. I don't want to cut in between. So I want users to have a feel of how this works. And once it is done syncing, my amount of resource will reduce and my number of service reduce. So observe, it is 5, right? 23 and 5, and just observe. And then my recommendation will now be green, meaning that I've deleted this unattached EBS volume. Awesome. It's done syncing. Can you see? I let it sync live. I did not cut the video. I did not pause the video. I did not edit the video, so it happened live. So can you see? No recommendation yet. So let's click on idle resource. Let's see. Can you see? Nothing. No idle resource. So my environment. So this is how LessBill helps you to cut down your costs. My environment is clean. So I'm only what is I have running my AWS are resources that I need. So can you see? My amplifier is running. My S3 bucket is available. So I also have one EBS volume. Interestingly, let me take that out. Let me refresh. Let me see. Oh, this. Let me go to my EBS volume right now. Sorry, volume. So let me refresh. Okay. So I have a volume here. Awesome. So let me go back to LessBill and let me sync on LessBill. So let me pause this video. For the sync part. All right, so LessBill has resynced. So observe my resource has dropped down to 3. Initially it was 5. Okay. And it dropped down to 3. So let's check. So I have amplify, I have S3 bucket, right? I go to my idle resource, it's empty, nothing. If I go to my service here, I cannot find, so my no servers running anymore, no EBS volume. So the 2 EBS volume that we had, we already deleted. The server that was running, that was idle, was deleted. And then that basically all. So this is how LessBill helps you to track resources running in your environment. It shows you the costs, recommend how you can reduce costs, and outputs or displays resources that are idle, that are charging you or costing you money without you knowing, and it will show you the resource. So that's how to use LessBill. And LessBill is just amazing. Like I use this in my real work environment, and it has helped me to save a lot of cost, like a whole lot of cost. So I'm recommending LessBill for you guys to use, and then yeah, you can also drop them a feedback. All right. So for the purpose of this video, I think that's all. Thank you so much for watching. And lastly, if you want to disconnect your account, you can disconnect your account here. If you want to deactivate your account on LessBill, maybe you no longer want to use it, you can also click on danger here and click on deactivate your account, okay? If you deactivate your account, you can reactivate it again anytime, all right? You can click on activate. You can click on, because right now, you can't do anything once your account is deactivated, all right? You will not be charged. For now, LessBill is free, but you'll not be charged again. Okay, so let me activate the account. All right, so let's go and disconnect the account. So I'll disconnect this account. I'll click on disconnect. Yes. Now, I've connected it from my AWS account. All right, thank you.